Hi anyone, and welcome to New Berk City, where I've been doing some work prepping for today's episode. I extended the main road as well as lifted up the foundation for us to build on today. For this episode's build, I want to make an apartment building to hold my Mason villagers. This apartment building is going to be massive in volume. It'll be a low to mid-rise apartment building compared to this higher rise that we're going to do. So it's going to be like there in the size of the building, but it's going to be like 4 times the width and the depth. So it's going to be bigger than this build. Plus I'm going to be doing interiors. So it's going to take some time, but what we're going to do is split it up into its parts. Like I always say, split it up into its parts and it makes things easier. So what we're going to do is take it like a whale, 1 bite at a time, 1 brick at a time, 1 apartment at a time. So we have to design the first apartment and then we'll go from there. Step number 1 is super simple. It's just put in a floor. So you really just need to pick your area that you want to have for your apartments. This is the area that we decided to go with. It's a 17 by 12 area, and it gives us plenty of space to have a 1-bedroom apartment and to satisfy the 4 pillars of living is what I like to call it. Or like in The Sims, it's your little meter at the bottom. It just makes sure that you're good. In our apartment, we're going to have a 1-bedroom with a bathroom. We're going to have a kitchen off to the right and then a living room so they don't go stir crazy. So with all those things, it satisfies the 4 pillars of living. I also want to add a balcony because it's going to add some texture to the build as well as just give them a little more space so they don't feel like they're too cramped. But yeah, that is step number 1. We added the flooring. Step number 2 would be to add the details like a balcony and walls. Step 2 is done and the walls are in. It's 4 blocks tall. That gives us plenty of space to do activities and jump and like hang out. And this gives us a better idea of what the floor plan is like. Over here we have our bathroom. I changed the flooring to be some tiles just to make it a little fancier. Then over here we're going to have our kitchen where we're going to have all of our appliances against this wall. Then in this other room we have a living room mixed with dining room, so it's a 2-for-1 area with our balcony extended out here where they can do more activities, you know, whatever you want to do. Then the last room we have is our bedroom. So it's a nice quaint little 1-bedroom apartment, so it's got plenty of stuff, plenty of space for us to do things and, you know, to live. Now it's time to move on to step 3, which will be windows and doors. And for some special things with the windows, when it's 1 block thick, I like to have some depth with it, so I like to make sure I use the glass panes instead of the full blocks here, because if you use a full block, it's going to just be a flat mess, and I don't like flat messes. You want some texture, you want some depth. So here we have a 2 thick window, and that gives us the ability to use full blocks of glass in the back, then any sort of transparent block in the front for some detailing. So you could use trapdoors, slabs, anvils, other glass panes, glow lichen, anything else really that you want to use that's somewhat transparent so you can still see through it. I really like to use slabs here, but I'm probably going to use trapdoors since it's only 1 window here. But yeah, that's what we're going to do next is add the windows and doors. Simple enough, the windows are in, and it's like I said, you just use a pane for the single block thick wall, and then for a 2 thick wall, you can use a full block, and then any sort of detailing that you want to use for the outside ledge. This gives us a lot of texture in the color variants, as well as the texture in the depth variants, so it's going to give us both. I also added the doors for the apartment, so there's this one main spruce door for the main entrance, then I use mangrove doors for the other doors for the bathroom and the 1-bedroom. With the windows and doors being step number 3, step number 4 is just to put a ceiling on this baby. Step number 4 is done, the ceiling is in, and we have our unfurnished apartment. We could technically just go from here and keep building these apartments, stacking them next to each other on the other side, make hallways, do whatever kind of design we want to make with these apartments. And you can make your own apartment building. So that's as simple as it can get. But we want to make it a little more detailed, and we're going to do some interior decorating. So that's the next step. That's step number 5. Let's do a walkthrough of the furnished apartment now, just for us to get a better visual of where everything was going and for us to understand where everyone is living. So we have our kitchen here with our refrigerator, a sink, a furnace for cooking, and then a microwave up there is the idea. Then over here we have our living room with a few chairs to sit and watch TV, and then a dining area for the the couple here that lives here to eat and enjoy. Then we have a very simple bathroom, just bathroom, wash yourself in the sink, it's fine. Then over here we have a bedroom, just very simple bedroom, 2 beds, just in case. It's a 2-bedroom or 2 people living in 1 bedroom. You need storage and you need places to sleep. And that's pretty much it. It's nothing out of this world in my brain. I just wanted to make it really repeatable so we can keep going with this interior as we go and build more apartments. Speaking of more apartments, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to set up 1 new block of this apartment building. So it's going to be mirroring this build on itself this way. And then we're going to mirror those 2 builds on itself this way. So it's going to make a block for us to kind of base what we're going to be going off of this entire apartment building. And then from there, we're going to make the elevator shaft. After some building and editing, the first 4 apartments are done. This makes a great template for us to reference when we're building the rest of this project. All the apartments will be the same, they'll just be flipped and rotated 90 degrees or so whenever we need them, and then they'll stack it on top of each other. Now it's time to work on the connecting corner. Each corner will have entrances and exits, as well as some of them having staircases and elevators. We have a corner piece. It's a corner to the oval of the rectangle. It's a rectangle. Everything in Minecraft squares are a rectangle, so I guess it's a rectangle with a bunch of edges. But this is the corner. We have the door, which we come in through here along this pathway. Everything might change. Everything is subject to change. Then here we have the building's core, one of the 4 cores for the building, where we have the turn back stairs that takes us to the next floor, where there's going to be 1 more stair here, but I want it flat because of my OCD. But then what we have here are the 2 elevator shafts, and down here it is going to be powdered snow underneath the carpet, so we could just jump down there and not take any damage. We would have took a tiny bit of damage because we jumped, but we didn't because powdered snow. That's the trick. Do the trick for the elevators. One of these we're going to make into a bubble elevator, but I'm not sure which one yet, and I don't know where it's going, so I'm just leaving both to be fall down vaders. So it's fun. So for the design of everything, it's a lot of andesite, I understand, but it works well with the colors of the woods, and while you're inside, it doesn't feel bad. I'm going to add a bunch of decorations eventually, so it's going to take some time. I think the decoration phase will be when we build at least a couple floors. I might do some decorating just to kind of break it up. But we did the same thing with the 2 thick walls we did before with the windows, but we did something different with the windows, where we did panes in the front just to give us some depth with the glass. Then we did the slabs in the back so the player, when they're inside, can't reach the window all the way. Then also we added some more depth with the tile wall, the deep slate tile walls. So that gives us a lot more depth. And then when we put it on top, we use these stairs to kind of like hold the tile walls up. So the next phase would go right on top of there. That's pretty much what's going to happen. The following program, I guess, would be just to make the rest of the first floor, because everything else is just a copy of each piece. So each piece is like a puzzle. So this piece we're going to rotate here and then put 1 here. And then we're going to rotate this to the side, negative 90 degrees, basically counterclockwise. And then we're going to put another one of these over here, and then another one, and then another one after a turn. We already talked about this, so it's just easier to see now that we have the turn in place. But I guess it's time to just build the entire first floor at least, because we've seen enough of the building. Let's get it done. You love to say it. You got part of a building in place. There's a whole I fell. There's a whole first floor done, and it is still a flat mess. We don't want flat messes, but we're gonna keep working on it. But we completed the rest of the first floor. So we have these little lobbies on some of the entryways. Oh, this is not one. This is another staircase that we built. Then over here we have a bunch of more apartments, and then here we have the little lobbies that we're going to do. So we could do this more on each floor if we wanted to, but I think I'm just going to put the apartments back where they belong in this space. So it's just going to be another apartment from there to here, flipped. You know how it goes. We keep flipping and building, flipping and building. And the rest of the apartment is all furnished. All these doors behind them would be full apartments. You have to believe me. I will show you. I am a real builder. Except for what I have planned for the rest of the build is I'm going to do facades. Because I'm lazy or smart. I don't know. I'm going to do one more floor with actual builds. So when you're on the outside and you're walking by, it looks filled. Then past that, we're just going to do the facades. That way we have space to do our mason villagers and stuff. That way there's going to be place to do storage as well, because storage takes up a lot of space, especially if you're sorting. So if you need all that space, it's good to just do the facades. And then past the second floor, you can't even see unless you have wings. So like, what's the point? Like in there's a farm. You can kind of tell, but it's no big deal. This is Minecraft. That's the point of Minecraft, is farms. This is why we're in vanilla. But anyway, the next step would literally just be put this on top of itself. It's just it's a simple stack. So if you were in creative, you could just grab the whole thing and then go stack up, and it will just paste itself on top of it. Then the problem are the doors. So for the next steps would just be the windows instead of doors. So we would just put another set of windows. But yeah, the next step is just to do another floor just like this right on top. The second floor is done. Complete. Done. Furnished. Everything. Walls in. TVs all brought in. Beds all brought in. Kitchens furnished. Everything's done. Like, oh my goodness, it was such a project. If I decided to do each floor of this like completely, it would have been the death of me. I think it would have just gone forever. But we've completed our second floor, and the next step would be to move on to our facade walls and our floor up here. So I'm just going to do a spruce floor up here, and if I ever want to change it, I could change it to whatever I want. And then we're going to do these facade walls all the way up. We're going to do 6 stories. So it's going to go up to a rooftop where we're going to do a bunch of rooftop details. So we're going to have a rooftop garden and like a rooftop lounge. So we're going to have those 2 areas. Then plus we're going to have all the AC units and stuff that we need, as well as we're going to do this courtyard down here. So that's what we're going to do as soon as we're done with the facade walls, because I kind of want to finish the building. Because it's kind of just been nagging at me. It's just been sitting here for so long that I haven't been able to finish it. I just want it to be done. So let's do the facade walls and this floor. You know what this corner is giving me? It's giving me, give me pictures of Spider-Man for some reason. I don't know why it's giving me that edge, but it's giving me that vibe. But yeah, we got 6 stories up. We got walls. We got plenty of room for activities in here, so with 4 floors of space. And what we're gonna do is add a ceiling and a roof. But before we do that, I think we should add the villager component to the scenario, because That's what this build is for. It's not going to take up the entire build. It's going to take up about half with everything we're going to be doing. With the storage as well as the villager mobile. It's what it's going to be. It's a mobile for the villagers. So it's going to spin them around in a big circle. And they're going to just keep going around. And you could trade with them real quick. And then you press a button and it goes to the next villager. And you press a button and it goes to the next villager. So that's the plan. And that's what we're going to do next. So let's do some redstone. Here's my villager mobile, and it makes trading with villagers a breeze. It works with any type of villager, but here I'm using masons to get terracotta and quartz, so let me just trade for some of that stuff real quick. Boom and boom. And he's ready to cycle out, so we'll press this left button to cycle him around. And it's on a hopper clock, so we could it can't spam the button and make them cycle a bunch of times until they're ready to be cycled. So he needs to be practically at the end before we cycle it. So that powers each segment of our cycler. Each segment works the same. It's a piston pulling up the track so that there's some vertical momentum for the villager to ride along the powered rail. And each segment is on a repeater delay so that the following segment is empty for them to go in. Then you find yourself trading and you run out of emeralds. So all you have to do is press this right button, which provides us with 2 stacks of emeralds so we can keep trading. And so what it is a hopper clock with 17 items in it. Then it leads into a observer clock, which is this piston going into those 2 observers. And those 2 observers will fire a bunch of droppers, which has a bunch of emeralds inside it. And that provides us with 2 stacks of emeralds each time. So we could just keep on trading and going. So we just did a bunch of trading and our inventory is pretty much full with a bunch of goodies. And we could just dump all of the blocks that we got and we traded from our masons into this chest here. And that will send them along, all the items along this ice track, into our item sorters over here, which are simple impulse item sorters on top of Kale Hammer-on shulker loaders, which will take a while to fill up with all the colors because it only gives us 12 colors or 12 blocks per trade. But we'll get it eventually. It just takes a matter of a lot of trading and a lot of time to fill up the boxes. But it's slow going, but it's going. That's the machine and how it works. So the next steps for today would actually be to do more building. So we're going to get back into building, not so much the functional stuff, but the form of it all. So we need to add a roof and some other amenities on the outside so it feels like it's not so boring or bland or just plopped here, but that it belongs, because right now it just feels like it's somewhere on a plot and it needs to feel like it's part of the city. So we need to make things feel a little more connected with the lights and everything here with this road as well. I'm going to fix that up. But the interior courtyard needs to be done, as well as all the rooftop amenities that we're going to be doing. So there's a lot more building left to do in this episode, and we got to get right to it. hero of New Berk City is a lonely road, but it's one I've chosen. It's one I can't back down from. It's one that they need from me. And this is a building. This is a done building. And I'm so happy it's done. But come with me and I'll show you the new amenities and different things from the building. We start off with the first rooftop amenity, which is a rooftop garden, where we have some vegetables and flowers planted, and then some different types of trees here that are smaller that can grow up on the rooftop, where they can just tend to the gardens and relax the mind, where you're not so stressed out in the big city. So you feel like you're still in a little bit of nature where you can just relax a little bit. Then the next rooftop amenity is the lounge, where it's a little bright, it's a little crazy, but I like it. It feels like you're in the summertime all the time. So no matter what type of weather, you're gonna feel like you're in a good place. Then over here we have a rooftop bar, which is pretty fun. It should have a bartender. I gotta get to the people up here. But that's gonna be a stream thing. So if you want, you can catch me at Berkle Games on Twitch, Berkle_games. Link in description. Whatever. We'll keep going. Then after that, we have all the HVAC, which is super important. You can never forget the HVAC on a building, because then you're gonna be super hot and it's gonna melt your brain and you're gonna die. But yeah, that's the roof. Then over here we have a nice, cool little courtyard to walk your dogs and stuff, which is pretty much the point of this courtyard. Is what I thought. It was like, I need a place to walk my dog if I lived here. So I was like, okay, we're gonna use the center as a place to walk your dogs if you really wanted to. So this is a nice little park, and you can use it however you want. Why was there a zombie sound? I guess they're below. Oh well. But that's it for the interior courtyard. Then on the outside, we did a little bit of the exterior stuff with the connecting corners, where over here we just have some flowers and some trees. I made this tree here just to make everything feel more connected, and I think it does the trick. What I need to do is put some like side parking, so everything feels more like a city here. So I'll put some street parking there and some street parking here, and that will make it feel more connected to a city. But it's not going to feel really connected until we do this plot, which we'll be doing next. And then we're going to be exploring into these further corners as well. So I want to go up to this mountain here. So I'm going to be clearing a little bit of this mountain because it's kind of in the way. Definitely in the way, but that's going to be future me problem. Like next week me problem, or 2 weeks from me not a problem. I'm not going to be worried about it now. But yeah, that's the building. I'm really happy with this style. Where I've learned from this was a creator called Alpine1. He's kind of an architect. I'm pretty sure he's graduated at this point, so congrats to him. Good job being an architect and having love of Minecraft. That's fun. So I really enjoyed all the projects that we did. This was a cool project as well. I didn't really do too much with it, but it's fun to trade with villagers in this way. But I need to make more emeralds, so I need to convert a bunch of my farmers to pumpkin traders instead of pumpkin pie traders. That's kind of on the agenda. But besides getting emeralds and getting blocks, that's really it for us today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me and liking and subscribing and being here to the end, because that really means a lot. That one is really important to me. So thanks again, and have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and look forward to the next one. Bye.